Yo! What's up, everyone? From one live stream to a second live stream. And as mentioned in the live stream previously, earlier today, price moves up, but we are not living on a pink cloud, all right? Hold your horses. Don't get too excited. Step by step, because I fully agree with what Aitarek wrote here, what Sutan wrote here as well. So we're going to talk about some waves, shall we? And also CVD, because actually CVD was very nice. So what's up, everyone? It is great to have you here. Thomas, could be a fake out when 57 is not taken. It's called Rectember, not for nothing. It's my birthday month. Birthday month is Rectember month now. Welcome, Thomas. Jeroen, what's up? Thundering evening stream, yep. This time focused on the local time frames though. Cool. Sarega, Sutan, Adam, welcome. Working, but let's go surfing. Good to have you here. J-Bull, Mike. Yep. Gotta be aware. Gotta be very aware. Joshua, best intro music. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Jared, Sam, welcome. Mike, Dasik, Karim, Max, Jen. Holy moly. As now we have a bear funeral. Do I need to apologize? Do not worry. Was working. Well, welcome, Finnerin. You're here now. You're here now. Perkill, what's up? Tom S, good to have you here. Bulls aren't in control. Well, let's analyze the chart, shall we? From an Elliott Wave point of view. So that is what we're going to do in tonight's live stream. Just going to analyze the local price action and the consequence of price moving to the upside. And it's nice because what happened in the previous update actually continued, right? Keeping an eye on the bullish CVDs. Remember towards the end of the update, we checked, of course, CVD, bullish. And of course, on the 4 hour, we checked the bullish CVDs. And they kept building. So that was actually very nice. And solid rejection here for a flat and a move up. So there's the potential for a double 1, 2, and a 3. But keep it step by step. So we're going to analyze the chart from always a neutral perspective, not biased to bears or bulls. Because as a trader, we shouldn't care. As simple as that. It doesn't matter if price is at 60k, 80k, 100k, 30k, you can trade everywhere, right? So it shouldn't matter. And the waves will tell us what the probabilities are, and the probabilities is eventually what we can consider trading. No financial advice from an Elliott Wave point of view, but you always need your own plan, obviously. So, where's the J-Bull, welcome. BBL, I'm bearish and bullish. Yannick, how's your start in France? So far so good. We are enjoying ourselves, and life is nice, life is good, and we kind of settled. Still got some stuff to do though. So on the fence too. Give me the flat scenario, Mr. Market. Okay, I guess we start, no? Marie, welcome. Do we have a birthday confluence? Mine is the 25th. When is yours? Holy shit. Mine is the 24th, man. There's no way. We're 1 day apart. My birthday is on the 24th, Yeah, what's the chance? Beerabit, by the way, is the guy that got me into Elliott Waves many years ago. Somehow we never spoke about birthdays. I don't know how we missed this. How did we miss this? I don't know. Oh, yeah, exactly, Thunderin. There you go. Confluence. Tommy, welcome. Alfonso, good to have you here. So it's going to be more of a relaxed live stream, right? Where we simply analyze the chart for what it is, a bit of chatting, yeah, that's that, no? So we're going to start on the 4 hour and we zoom in afterwards. But we're going to start on the 4 hour and I will refresh my chart here just to make sure that the browser, like quick refresh. 1 second here. Okay, I'm back. By the way, if you see me drink out of this green bottle, it is 0.0 Tourtel Twist, right? No alcohol. Just so you know. So, if the chart wants to load, please, there you go. By the way, if it is lagging, let me know, because, oh boy, I do have quite a lot of tabs open, and I'm on Wi-Fi. Now, the thing is right below the desk, but, you know, hopefully it's holding on, else I gotta close some stuff. Thanks, Thunderin. Appreciate it, man. In the end, look, I can only, of course, teach people so much and inform people so much. In the end, it's about implementation, and if you implement stuff, then and find yourself success, it's on you. It's on you, right? It's on you. You are the one that studied, implemented, and then booked success, you know. So you can congratulate yourself as well. So, okay, let's start. Do you sell signals? No. The best way to help your family, is to not go to people that do signals. Don't. Because if they sell signals, they probably make more money you buying signals than they actually make money like trading themselves, if you know what I mean. So first, make a plan. The best way to help your family is to put time and effort into building your own trading plan. Not look for signals. And let me get through the 6 steps quick. You can ask me in Discord, Johnson, if you want to join Discord or something somewhere else, or later in chatting in Q&A. You can ask more questions. But first of all, right, this is important for everyone. You want to be a long-term, consistent, profitable trader, then this is your best chance of becoming one. Step 1, try as many free tools as you can in TradingView. Educate yourself with how the platform works and the tools that are here, including some of the most popular indicators usually. Step 2, find your favorites, build statistics on them. Step 3, this is where most people quit. But if you want to take care of your family, you got to do that step. Step 3, out of your favorite tools, look for the ones with good statistics, combine them. So combine some of your favorite statistics and now build statistics on the combination, right? Step 4 is tweak and adjust. Add a new tool, remove one of the existing tools, see how the statistics change, right? You're building your plan now. You're building your strategy. 5, start trading it with a low amount of money. Work on your trading psychology. First book in the description, The Mental Game of Trading from Jared Tendler, by far, in my opinion, the best book anyone can get on trading psychology. And then steps, by the way, not affiliated to the author, FYI, but it is an Amazon affiliate link, which doesn't work. So it doesn't matter if you use it or not. And then step 6 is increase your portfolio size slowly so you get used to bigger losses. Follow these steps and you will help your family. No short-term success in this industry, I'm afraid. Okay, cool. So let's cover the 4 hour. So all of my folders with higher time frames go out the window here. Ups, and there we go. Now, even though price is moving up locally, right, it remains very difficult to give the highest probabilities to the bulls, right? Let me start with this. And I will explain why. I've already explained it twice today. I'm going to explain it again because price is moving to the upside. You can see emotion hits the market. I think the best comment we had so far is, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here, Itarek. Fascinating how fast sentiment changes. 100k moon boys are back calling the bottom and up only from here. And that is exactly what we like to see. Right? That's the psychology of the market. And we love to wreck psychology, don't we? So from an Elliott Wave point of view, let's start. I actually do have to go to the daily. On the daily, if we have a finished 3-wave corrective structure here, right, and your low is in wave 4 on the weekly, right, you look for upside, all-time highs and all that stuff. If this is your low, right, if this is the low, then you need one of 3 structures to the upside, coming off that low for bullish continuation, or at least increase the probabilities for bullish continuation. An impulse, a diagonal, or a double 1-2, right? There we go again, chat. Same as previously and this morning. But it is so important to repeat this, especially because emotion kicks in. So 1, impulse. An impulse is a 5-wave structure. That's ideal, right? What you actually want to see is, if this is the low, you want to see this. Now that is a solid impulse. It was a wave C, right? Because a bigger flat, A, B, and then a wave C taking out the low, right? But that is what an impulse preferably looks like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Textbook. Now look at what the structure looks like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this a good impulse? No. Wave 4 here went too deep, hitting the 0.618 taken from the low of 2 to the high of your 3. If you would count it, if you would put a count on the chart, the 618 is touched, invalidating wave 4, right? Wait, I want to show this. I saw a fun scenario. So Stuba, by the way, in the group, he's a great Elliott Wave analyst. And he was like having some fun in the group, and then he posted this. So here you have 1, 2, 3, triangle 4, 5, which was it's an interesting take. And we were having fun in the group. We can't label it the highest probabilities, and that's also what he wrote in the group. Creativity. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then a triangle in a 4. Well, this is I don't know. It's or whatever this is, right? It can't even really be a triangle. A, B, C doesn't work here. If this is an A, you need a B, C, D, E here, like it, whatever it is. But probability is, of course, extremely low that this is an impulse to the upside, a 5-wave structure, right? The only way to really label an impulse would be 1, 2, 3, mini 4 here, the red candle, and 5. But also that has low probabilities due to 4 being extremely short compared to your wave 2, right? And on the lower time frame, we actually, I don't want to, that's for old live streams, but the probabilities aren't great for a wave 1 and this to be a wave 2. This wave 2 is 8 times longer in time than wave 1, significantly lowering probabilities. So if we have wave 1 from the low to the high here, and we double click and we toggle this on, we put this on 8, then the low is made around the 8 fib time, 8 times longer this range compared to the move up, which lowers the probabilities of this being a wave 1 and a wave 2. Okay, so an impulse, not great probabilities. On the 1 hour, you can see the wave 2, but it doesn't matter if it's the 1 hour, 4 hour, or you mean here. On the 1 hour, yes, right? But we're talking about the 4 hour here, of course. Now, this being 8 times longer, right? can have an influence on corrective structures like an ABC or a WXY. But that is still a bearish structure, because if this would be a WXY or ABC, a wave B or a wave X can sometimes be lengthy, right? But that's corrective, and afterwards you still expect this, which is still bearish and not bullish, not all-time high, right? You would take out 65 though. But we're going to talk about those bearish scenarios in a little bit, right? So then we get to a diagonal. The only diagonal that you can have on the chart as a bull is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, which is too early to call. Now, if price takes out 57K, which we're close to doing, it at least keeps this scenario alive. But it will never have the highest probability unless wave 4 is in. And we are not even close to a wave 4. So till that moment, right? Till that moment, if you move up, the probabilities are still higher for it to be part of a corrective structure, not impulsive. Not a diagonal until we can say we got our wave 4. Diagonals are also not as common as sometimes people make it, because it's of course an attractive pattern to draw. But if you would go to the theory, a leading diagonal actually, an ending diagonal is more common than a leading diagonal, by the way, right? And diagonals by itself are not even a common structure. So in other words, that diagonal for the bulls is very, very early. Second, if we would get a diagonal, then after a diagonal, you commonly get a deep retracement before continuation. So in other words, you're going to be stuck in this range for another couple of months. So price likely comes back to 60, 56, 58, deep. Okay? So the impulse, not great probabilities. Diagonal, neither. Leaving us with the double 1, 2. But a double 1, 2 is invalidated because we took this low. We cannot count a double 1, 2 in what we have here. So, as nice as the local move to the upside is, and as much as I like to see in green numbers, the probabilities on the 4-hour remain higher to the bears, not the bulls. Now, you don't even need to know what the corrective structure is. Of course, we're going to have a look at it. But quite simply, if this is the low and you go up, you need one of these three, which at the moment doesn't have the highest probabilities. Right? It just doesn't. The only alternative that you could have is this. But this is a continuation of the range. And also here, you then have a 3-wave W, 3-wave X, and then a 5-wave Y, because a triangle is a 5-wave, A, B, C, D, E. But also with a triangle, you want to wait for D to be in, right? Which means invalidation. And likely this is going to be an invalidation as well. So this one moves up, A moves to C, with the C then being in that case. Now, of course, this can then be your low, yes. But it doesn't mean you do this, right? You're going to be stuck in this range for another 2 months, right? 1.5 months, 2 months. So as price continues, we will be able to identify the probabilities for this. But at the moment, it's also too early to call triangles because you want to wait for D to be in. And the triangle in wave Y is the least common structure. Most common wave Y is a zigzag or flat, and this is a triangle, not a zigzag or a flat. So we cannot give this the highest probabilities. We cannot give an impulse the highest probabilities. We cannot give a diagonal the highest probabilities, and a double 1, 2 is invalidated. So therefore, with the current price action we have coming off the 49K low, the probabilities remain higher for corrective structures until proven otherwise. Which means for a diagonal, you need to wait for wave 4. For the triangle, you need to wait for a wave D. For an impulse, if somehow on Earth this is a 1, 2, and a 3, you would need great confirmation of like a wave 3. It's so low probabilities. A wave 2 that's 8 times longer than 1. Like, what the fuck? So also, by the way, if you want to count this as a wave 2, right? This, like, here, another thing. Why are the probabilities low of this being a single structure, right? Because this has to be a flat, right? This then has to be your A, B, C. Another reason why the probabilities are low for 1, 2, besides time, is structure. If you're looking for a flat A, B, C, wave C has to be a 5-wave structure. Okay, you somehow need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. But wave 3 cannot be the shortest, right? This move is shorter than the move here and then the move there. And it's like, how does one count this as a 5, right? It looks better as a 3-wave structure, not a 5-wave structure. But if this is a 3-wave structure, we need to think about W, X, Y. However, wave W here is a 3-wave structure, but not a flat. And if wave W is a zigzag, because W, this is going to go very quick. I really understand that if you don't really know Elliott waves, this is abracadabra. But make sure to check out the educational sources below. But if wave W, right, can only be a flat or a zigzag, if it's not a flat because B didn't go high enough, it has to be a zigzag. And if wave W is a zigzag in a sideways double combo, wave Y is not allowed to be a zigzag. So you can't have a zigzag here and a zigzag here, which means the probabilities are higher. You got a 3-wave structure up and you got a 3-wave structure down, right? Which then opens the door, of course, for sideways structures like the triangle, right? A, B, C, D, E. But the problem with the triangle, just to elaborate a bit more, is that in a triangle, right, 4 out of the 5 waves has to be a simple zigzag 5, 3, 5 ABC up or down. Now, if this is best counted as a WXY and so is this, then a triangle would be off the cards already. I just keep it in my folders as like an alternative, like backup, right? Okay, but we're already like slowly talking about bearish scenarios, but having a 3-wave move up and a 3-wave move down for the bulls would be, okay, like not looking at the subwave structures, triangle, and we have, of course, the diagonal. But it's too early to call both. So as nice as the local move is towards the upside and traded with bullish CVDs, I will explain why I entered. So hopefully people learn from it. But as nice as the move is, the probabilities remain higher for the bears, not the bulls. But I do love a psychological fake out, not gonna lie. So this is actually quite cool. So yeah, that being said, am I first going to cover the bearish, or do I go to the 15-minute? Let's stay around on the 4-hour and talk about bearish stuff. Yeah. New viewers, this is 0.0. No alcohol on stream. Also not really off stream because I don't really like alcohol anyway. Okay. So. Zooming out. I'm just checking if I had anything prepared here. I don't think I had anything prepared. So we're going to do a little bit of live analysis. Okay, that's perfectly... Oh, by the way, this worked out quite nice, no? The squiggly line over the weekend. Not bad. Of course, my line was a little bit short in time, but you know. Okay, anyway. So 3 wave up, 3 wave down. No, I've never been drunk in my life, actually. I like control. I like control. Liquidity, I like liquidity. And I like fake outs. Make everyone bullish and then turn around. Anyway, bearish scenarios, right? So I just want to focus on this part of the chart at the moment. Of course, we do realize that if you would look at triangles, this part has to be included, right? But for now, I preferably focus on this, and we might actually include this as well. So I will have to do a little bit of live analysis here because I don't have the scenarios in my folders. So for the sake of education, what I like to do generally, if I do a bit of live analysis, is go one by one past different scenarios. What do I miss? And then we just explain if it's probable or not probable, right? There's an echo. Yeah, I mean, new room, new office. I didn't get decorated, so. But wait, this thing picks up an echo. Wow, I actually didn't know. First time I hear it in the first month I live here, but good to know. Need to put some stuff on the walls. Anyway, zigzag, flat, WXY, or triangle. I hear no echo, don't hear the echo. Interesting. When we think about corrective structures, this is pretty much what you have in Elliott waves. Of course, you have you have a zigzag, double zigzag, triple zigzag. So you have you have different, whatever. I don't know the English word. It's late. So of course, zigzag has 3 patterns. A flat has 3 patterns, right? A triangle has 4. You know what I mean? But anyway, on the chart, if we look for a 3 wave up here and a 3 wave down, a zigzag is already off the cards. Because if we want to count this as a zigzag, we need to do 5, 3, 5. But as identified with the bullish scenarios, it's very unlikely we got a 5 waver in here and that this is a single structure. Because if this is a single structure, it needs to be a flat, which means we need to somehow count a 5 wave move in here. I mean, try counting a 5 waver in here, no? 1, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not possible, overlap. Like we looked at this 1, WXY and 2, and then what? 3, 4, 5? No, it doesn't work, right? So I mean, it's not a great wave C to the downside. Now we have to be aware of maybe somehow there is a wave C in there. It's just probability wise, definitely not a high probability scenario, but we can at least put it on the chart and come back to it later, right? So we're just going to put some stuff on the chart and then we're going to be selective towards the end and just remove all of the shit. All right, so at the beginning we just do this, put the stuff on. Now I already know wave B did hit the common target area for a wave B, but wave C needs to be a 5 wave structure, and that is at the moment the problem. We cannot count diagonals here because wave 3 would be the shortest in that case. If you do have some sort of an impulse in here, feel free to send me, because counting an impulse in there is would be artistic. Okay. Now the reason why, if there's an ABC here, the probabilities are higher, it's a B because of time. Triangle forming on the daily? No. A triangle is already invalidated. So it's not a triangle according to Elliott Wave rules. I also wouldn't know how you would count a triangle in here, unless you talk about this. And then, yes, there's still that option. However, 4 out of the 5 waves need to be simple, right? Triangle in Y. Now, exactly. So when someone says triangle on the daily, I think about this. Triangle here is still an option. However, you want only one complex wave, not 2. So it's not the greatest probabilities, and you need to wait for wave D to be in. Anyway, of course, we then have our A, B, C. And where was I? Okay. If you do have somehow a wave C here, probability is higher that it's a B. But this scenario, as we know, not the highest probabilities, because this has to be an impulse, meaning a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No overlap between 1 and 4. Somehow here you would need a 3, which is, I mean, preferably you would have somehow 1, 2, bloody, bloody, blah, 3, 4, 5, which we then didn't get. So yeah, it's not great probabilities, but at least we have something on the chart, which we can stripe away later, right? So zigzag. Now then you have double zigzags, W, X, Y, meaning you then have an ABC, correction ABC. What makes this scenario a little bit tricky and impacts probabilities is that this move to the upside does count best as a WXY, 3-wave structure, correction, 3-wave structure. So yes, you can have a WXY double zigzag here, but then this is a new structure, not related to like, you can't count this WXY. You can't have a WXY inside a wave W. That's not allowed according to Elliott Wave International. Right? So you only want simple structures in there. But counting this as a single A, B, C means this again has to be a 5-wave structure. But as mentioned earlier, from an Elliott Wave standpoint, the probabilities aren't that great that this is a 5-waver. And if so, right, the probabilities remain higher that you're looking at a corrective bearish structure. So by all means, we just put it on the chart again. And also this has to be some B wave, like whatever like is going on here. This needs to be a W. A triangle is also invalidated. You somehow need a B in here and then a wave C to the upside to create a WXY. Now here is the thing. In a WXY double zigzag, the moment wave X retraces to below the 0.7, sorry, misclicked, the 0.7 fib, it significantly reduces the probabilities for a double zigzag. And thanks about notifying the echo, guys. That's actually, that I appreciate that, because that means I got to put some stuff in the room. So it's good to know. Good to know. Cheers, cheers, guys. Thanks, RS Miller, as well, for notifying. And then the others confirming. So it's different than my old room, right, where there was no echo. The good old days. That happens when you move. So ABC, W, X, Y, but wave X hit the 0.7, which reduces probabilities for a double zigzag. So we label this, put this in the folder. And now we have two scenarios, but in both of these cases, we have a low probability scenario here because of your wave C, and here because wave X touched the 0.7. Cool. Triple zigzags are always very rare. So therefore, it's not really a scenario I like to look at. The only triple zigzag potential would be some sort of W, X, Y, X, and then again triangles and Z. But you know, basically you go sideways. So and that is then still not bullish, because you first go sideways and then at a later stage we can redefine probabilities anyway, right? So cool. Okay, and then we get to the flat. Now for a flat, this is very quick, because for a flat you need price to move down to the 0.9 minimum. Minimum target for a regular flat is the 0.9 Fibonacci, which we did not hit. So therefore a flat here is not a possibility. So that makes life easy. For a flat, you would need price to move to the downside. However, probabilities here are higher that move down is a three-wave structure in a WXY, not a single ABC. Looks better as a WXY. And again, a WXY cannot be part of a WXY, a bigger one, right? WXY cannot be a subdegree of W, which means you can only then label this as an ABC to create a flat here in a bigger flat, ABC. The problem is that a flat wave B of the bigger flat, right, is, I always say, like incredibly low probabilities. Elliott Wave International once stated it's not allowed, but based on statistics, there's always that chance. So low probabilities, and therefore that's not even something I want to put on my chart, right? So the flats, low probabilities. Then we have WXY. Now with WXY, we talk about a sideways WXY. Right? So we talk about a three-wave sideways structure. Now, of course, it's then going to be a little bit questionable on what the daily time frame structure is going to be. If you do look for a sideways WXY, then what are you looking for on the daily? Right? Because of course we are then still connected to this. And we do know that a WXY cannot be part of a wave W, a wave Y, or a wave Z. So if this is a WXY, arguably you might be looking for even more bearish scenarios, being a 1, 2, 3, right? And then down you go to lower prices. However, what lowers the probabilities for this is again time. Because if you are not yet finished with a correction, so imagine in the most bearish scenario, let me pull this one on the chart so you know what I'm talking about. So if this is a double 1, 2. In this case, this is bear market, guys. Like that's not the highest probabilities, but I do just want to talk about it. If this would be a wave 1 and 2, and you go for 3, you want to finish. You want this to be the end of 2. And you want this to be another 1, 2, 3. But the fact that price now moves up, and I actually think we may have taken 57K, but the fact that the probabilities are low, that this is an impulse to the downside, immediately decreases probabilities for this bearish scenario. However, right? And additionally, if you would still correct to the upside here, creating WXYs, it's very unlikely to be a 2 anyway. Right, so the most bearish scenario on the daily being a double 1, 2, just reduced in probabilities because of the three-wave structure to the downside here, and you wanted it to be an impulse. So on a weekly time frame, there's a lot happening, but on a weekly time frame, probabilities remain bullish as they have been for all the time, pretty much, right? Because that double 1, 2 always had the lower probabilities. But this being a three-wave structure to the downside increases that probability more. Okay, so WXY, sideways WXY. Again, I'm not really a fan of a WXY here in the bigger context of what we are looking at, meaning this whole structure connected to a final WXY. I mean, you then need a WXY to be a wave 2 or a wave B or a wave X. So that means you would then need either an A, B, and then a wave C, which means you still go for the low, it is still bearish, or you need a W, X, and a Y, you still go for the low, so it is still bearish. So even if you count a WXY, probabilities are higher to still move down, supporting the bears anyway. Now a WXY would mean that we are then looking for a zigzag in a W, then you need your X, and then you need a Y. Because as mentioned, if this is a WXY, right, internally, I think, if you don't really get it, make sure to rewatch it with some Elliott Wave nodes. But if you have a W, X, Y here, we cannot label this a W, not allowed, okay? So if we want to count this X and Y, we can't. We can only label W, X, Y here, zigzag in W, whatever X, and then a wave Y. But I just mentioned this being a single structure is not great, right? Because it has to be a flat, somehow a wave C, low probabilities. So actually coming to it, a WXY is not relevant. It would be similar to this. Let me put it on the chart. So this also has low probabilities, but we can basically add it here, W, X, and then Y. And then your W is a zigzag, which means that in a sideways double combo, sideways WXY, your wave Y either has to be a flat, A, B, C, or a triangle, which at the moment, again, not great probabilities. So we just park it. Okay, and then we get a triangle, but we already kind of covered the triangle. So I won't go in detail about the triangle because it has to be a wave Y. Another bearish scenario though is besides a diagonal to the upside, do not sleep on a diagonal to the downside. So of course you have the bullish diagonal. Too early. But you also have, because of all the three wavy structures, making things quite complex, of course you also have bearish diagonals. Yeah. Elliott Waves is all about directional bias. You can trade it as well, which is what I do. But directional bias for most people. So of course you also, and don't forget that in this stream I cover many scenarios, right? But eventually you only stick with two. One bull, one bear, one preferred, one alternative. And then that's what you get, right? But you have to consider, we are doing some live analysis. And when you do live analysis, if you would do analysis yourself, you cannot only be like, oh, 1, 2, 3, done, right? And then that's it. You can't. You need to cover all of this. Basically what I do on stream is usually what I do off stream, but off stream a lot quicker because I just see it, right? So I don't put everything on the chart and stuff and would make folders. So, but this is what you should do if you do Elliott Waves, right? You go one by one, you check the scenarios, impulse, diagonal, multi 1, 2, zigzag flats, WXYs, triangles, and be like, okay, what are the highest probabilities? And then you keep that in mind. And if you don't have clarity on a daily, on a 4-hour time frame, you go to the 1 hour or go to the 15-minute, and you just wait for clarity on a higher time frame, no? Voila. Okay, so anyway. Yes. Where were we? Bullish impulse, diagonal, double 1, 2, zigzag flat, WXY triangle. So for the bulls, let's summarize here. For the bulls, your two bullish scenarios at the moment, highest probability would be the diagonal, which is still too early to call, and the triangle, which is also too early to call. The fact you have a three-wave structure to the downside highest probability does increase the probabilities of at least a deeper retracement, if not take out 65k. And the reason why 65k, by the way, is on my thumbnail is because of the bullish CVD divergences here. Because we have, which basically, for the ones that don't know, is absorption of market shorts with limit long orders. And then we got bullish CVDs locally building as well as price was moving to the upside in confluence with the bigger one. So therefore, the 4 hours should not be forgotten, right? The local bullish CVDs here, that's what you like to see. But having these local bullish CVDs, right, is in confluence with the bigger 4 hour CVD. But the 4 hour CVD target is 65k. And that is why it's on the thumbnail. Right, 65k, because we do have those bullish CVDs as well. And of course, there's a scenario that leads to 65, no? Being that diagonal, for example, also corrective structures. So anyway, the bulls, diagonal or triangle, both very early. It remains a very ugly three-wave structure if this turns out to be a three-waver, because this has to be a wave C of some sort. If this is an impulse, then good game on the market makers. Very low probabilities. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here because of the size of wave 4, the retracement in a wave 4, hitting the 618, invalidating a wave 4. So that is like incredibly low probabilities for a 4. You would need to count a wave 1 here, WXY and 2, and then look for bullish continuation to be bullish. But then you need a wave 1 here. You need an impulse in here, right? Which is pretty much this, what Stuba had. Which is just not... it's not, you can't give that highest probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. But luckily, we don't only have to trade the daily and the 4 hours. So at the moment, let me summarize. I'm starting to blabble. We go to the lower time frames. Lower time frames are very clear. So on the 4-hour time frame / daily, if we only look at this range over here, the probabilities, right? For the bulls, you only have a diagonal or a triangle at the moment, with a very, very alternative count being some sort of an impulse, but that is far from highest probabilities. So diagonal or a triangle would have higher probabilities. In both cases, it is still too early to talk about these structures, because for a diagonal, you're not in a 4, and in a triangle, you haven't finished D, right? Now for the bears, if we want to look at this being a bearish scenario, we have similar problems because of this being a 3-wave structure, right? So we either have to look at an ABC or a WXY, giving similar difficulties compared to the most bullish scenario, or a WXY. Now the 0.7 is not an invalidation, it just lowers probabilities. So if you move up in a 3-wave structure here, this WXY, right, is going to be one to keep an eye out for. But because, and this is just the thing, because the bullish scenarios can't have the highest probabilities, and complex corrective structures are more difficult to count compared to impulsive structures, because the impulsive structures here are not clear at all, or it's too early to call them, it's difficult to give the bulls the highest probability. Probabilities are higher, you're looking at some corrective structure, which will identify itself at a later stage in more detail, compared to a bullish scenario, because bullish scenarios, right, are easier to identify. Impulse, diagonal, double 1, 2. That's it. Zigzags, WXYs, triangles, flats, those can be very complex structures internally with all of the counts and all of the possibilities, right? Same over here, right? So the moment you cannot count a clear impulse, a clear diagonal, or a clear multi 1, 2, the probabilities are low. You're looking at a bullish structure, no? This over here on the lower time frames, if you go back to July, early July, this is counted as a double 1, 2, right? Bullish CVDs were here all the time, similar to what we had here, and we still have this bullish CVD. So from a CVD perspective, 65K is very interesting. But as long as we do not get a significant amount of volume for wave 3 or wave 4 of a diagonal is in, I can't be bullish on probabilities because of the structure coming off the 49K low. And that, of course, means you can still have triangles or sideways structures, but it simply means you're not looking for this until proven otherwise. That being said, on the 1 hour, this is where stuff was easy, right? So we had our move towards and this is where CVD is so good. So on the 4 hour, we had our move to the upside. And I don't know when, I think on Saturday in the live stream, someone asked me, can you analyze this? And I mentioned there is at least a chance of counting this as an impulse, right? We cannot disregard it. Now, as the weekend continued, we then got a three-wave structure, right? So this time frame is clear, right? Go to the clearest time frames. This is tradable, no? Even if you're like, I'm not really sure about the 4-hour or the daily or the weekly, you go to a 15 min together with CVD, like this was very, very clear price action, right? Of course, there's some messy bits and pieces, but the CVDs kept building bullish, which I will show you in a second. So what you have here is then weekend price action, sideways price action, right? Now, eventually you take out the highs. I mentioned earlier today when price was here, the probabilities are higher to take out this high. During the weekend on Saturday, this was the expectation. So price moving down, resistance, support, and look for a move up, my squiggly line, right? Of course, with a bit of Elliott Wave knowledge in there. Now, as price hit resistance over here, I wrote one message in the gold group. And I'm going to find it. Oh, there we go. Where is it? Oh, here. 1, 2. It's coming. $17.07. By the way, a flat locally has to be considered for the bulls, right? The bears was clear. For the bulls, a flat has to be considered. What I said in silver, in the silver updates, right? Let me quote this, which I also, I'm not even sure if I said it on the previous live stream. Is step 1, proving a little bit of resistance, being the box, right? The bullish CVD divergences played out as price moved to the upside, and I said, I now only focus on CVD divergences on the, and this is important, right side of the recent high, fresh ones, right? Now 17.07, when I said a flat has to be considered, was when price was at the low here. That's why I wrote in the group, okay, we have to consider a flat. That was also soon after the moment where price started to create more bullish CVDs on a 3-minute time frame. So you can see if I zoom in. Wait, let me just do this. I need to get the picture. Bloop. Upwards move, downwards CVD, right? And that's exactly what I was looking for. Right? So interesting. So on this time frame here, the bullish scenario is a double 1-2 with price moving to the upside on an increased amount of volume, which is what you like to see in a wave 3. We also took the high now, by the way. So a bearish multi 1-2 hit the invalidation, which is nice. So your bullish scenario locally is a 1-2-1-2, right? Whatever is in here, maybe it's a triple 1-2, doesn't really matter, right? This can be a flat structure for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of then another bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the probabilities increase, right? With the volume, with the price action to move up. Because what the bulls now want to see locally is a wave 4. So as price is moving up, we keep an eye on the 618, taken from the low of blue 2, because that's the important one, right? Because in blue, if you're bullish, you look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? A 5-wave structure to the upside. Of course, you have a lower degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well, but I keep an eye on the higher degree 618 here. As price moves to the upside, this 618 is also going to move to the upside because it's taken from the low to wherever the high is before you start a range, similar in size then too, because that, if you're bullish, is what you want to see, no? What you're looking for is continuation, and eventually you're going to start a bigger sideways range. If we are looking for a wave 4, let me just remove the little count. If you look for 3, 4, 5, this wave 4 most commonly is longer in time than wave 2. Alright, so you need to see a range similar in size. These small little ranges are of course not related to what we look at here, right? So we can't count this, oh, this is 2 and then this is 4, right? That would be wrong context, no? So currently we have volume moving up, prices moving up. The probabilities here locally are therefore a double 1, 2. In that case, you would look for 2 more 4, 5s, but by all means, eventually a wave 4, the size of 2. As long as price keeps moving up on volume, right, without creating a bigger sideways range, we look up. We just look up, right? Now your bearish scenario, because you always need a bearish one, would be an A, B, and a C. Another 3-wave structure. So yes, price is moving up, but even a 5-waver here doesn't mean we're looking for all-time highs, right? You can have a 5-wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reject, another 5, A, B, C, and then come back again, right? But the A, B, C is your bearish scenario. A, B, and then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you then still look for a bigger sideways range, similar in size to what you have here, not the small little bits and pieces, and then another leg to the upside for C. Now, if we pull a trend-based fib from the start to the end of A to the end of B, or wave 2 in the bullish scenario, and toggle on the 1.618, the 1.618 for a wave 3 is commonly a minimum target, 57.3, and for a wave C, it is still a target. It is more common for a 3 compared to C, but it is still a target for a wave C, 57.3. The moment price, however, is going to pass the 1.618, the probabilities increase. You're looking at a wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that bigger sideways range, no? Which currently has the higher probability, right? Because we haven't yet seen a long sideways range, right? If we're looking for C to end here, well, preferably we better start ranging soon, no? Right? Similar to the wave 2s here. To get a leg up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finish C and down. If you start moving above the 1.618, we look at a 3. Good for the bulls, no? Because in that case, you're going to be looking for at least another 5, 3, 5 ABC, if not potential impulsive continuation. The resistance to the upside. So we had the weekly naked point of control here, right? Which we passed now. So I'll remove it from the chart. To the upside, you have a daily, but as you can see, that daily is above the 1.618. More importantly, I have a target box with a little bit of confluence at 60K. Right? Now 60K is interesting, honestly more interesting than the 2 dailies, but in order to get to 60, we need an impulse, not an ABC. But the reason that 60K is more interesting is because of a volume profile you take from the low to where price is now. And you can see that price had a little bit of resistance at the value area low. But now we are in that range and your point of control is at 59.5K, which is the 60K resistance I have over here, right? Interesting. It's in confluence with the blue box. It's one of the confluences in the blue box. Your value area high is at 62, right? So that is a very interesting level from a trader's point of view, at least. But also, of course, for the bulls looking for an impulse, right? 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Hit the resistance, look for rejection, maybe another leg up. And that is, of course, where things start to be very interesting for 65K, the yes, the no. Depends on how long wave 3 goes, because as mentioned, for a wave 4, you need a range similar to 2. As long as you don't get a range similar to 2, you basically just look up, right? You just look for price to move to the upside. We can take this as an example, 1 2 1 2. And then, of course, you have a small range here, and you have a small range here, and you had a small range here. But this is what you want to see, right? This is what you want to see. Those are your 4s, right? Very, very clear, right? These are your 2s. These are your 4s, right? That's what you're looking for. No? Not the small, very little ranges. So on the 1 hour time frame, the probabilities are higher for an impulse, as long as we don't get a range, first of all. Second, as long as price doesn't hit the 618, right? Probabilities are higher for the bulls as well, where you look for at least a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Invalidation for 4 is the 618. And yeah, then we'll take it from there, no? If you do hit the 618, which at the moment is not the case. Ta-da. So that is currently what's happening on the lower time frame. ABC or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In both cases, you look for a sideways 4 and a 5. Even in wave C, you want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So still another range and then another high. And of course, in your bullish scenario, you also look for that. So probabilities are higher locally to move up. So local price action here is a lot more clear compared to the daily and the 4 hour. We just can't yet give the highest probabilities on the 4 hour to bulls because you have a 3-wave structure, highest probability of the low at 49K. So it's got to switch at a later stage. But yeah, very nice price action, and very well traded. And yeah, it's nice to see that when you put some squiggly lines on a chart, that things work out, and then the bullish CVDs. So yeah, and then you pass the resistance, you hit 56.5, right? Step 2, and then now you took the high here. So the fact you took the high increases the probabilities for a bigger retracement. So okay. That being, I actually forgot when I went live, but I will put the timestamp in the analysis. I forgot when I started the analysis, but I'll put it in the timestamps. Also, by the way, this is interesting, very interesting, because depending on what happens tomorrow, right? Wednesday can be a very bloody day, where we now move up, faking out the bulls, right? For our probabilities, and then come back down. Anyway, Wednesday, September 11th, 2 days, 2:30 p.m. Central European Time. You got some interesting news here. And then on Thursday, we continue with that. Friday as well. But Thursday and Wednesday are most interesting. So be aware of this time, because it will increase volatility, and you do not want to be on the wrong side of whatever is going to happen there. As the probabilities or the chances are high, we will get some fireworks on the chart at that time. So let's see what tomorrow brings. And then by Wednesday, so I will be live on YouTube at that time, of course, as every day, right? And by Wednesday morning, we will have a good idea of what that news can bring us, right? With the price action that we are looking for on the chart. Okay. Quick little look here. A 9-leg triangle. That would be a triangle in wave E as well. Yeah, that's incredibly rare. Incredibly rare. On 1 hour, can you see the wave 2? Yes. Wave 4 hit wave 1. Yes. Yeah, in the 49K move to the upside. That's correct. Is there a guideline for the FIB time about X or B? In general, Blaster, when you analyze the chart from an Elliott Wave point of view, as in the book written, ratio is important. So in the book, it's called ratio analysis. I just used FIB times. But in the book, it's called ratio analysis. And they have a chapter about time, right? In Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter, by the way. Link in the description. So ratio analysis says that when you analyze the chart and you analyze the waves, the ratios should make sense. That's pretty much what they say. It should make sense, which of course leaves a lot to judgment of the analyst. So that is why I use FIB time to make sense of ratios, right? So when you have a wave B or X that's 8 times longer than a wave A or a wave W, of course the ratio is off, right? It's very long, but it is more common, quote unquote, common in the lower end of the probabilities. It's more common for a B or an X to be long than a wave 2 to be long, as a wave 2 commonly is short, deep, and quick, right? Quick equals short, simple. So short, deep, and simple, right? While an X or a B, a corrective structure, tends to be extended in time, being longer. Now, most commonly, X or B is a zigzag, by the way, but it can be any corrective structure, meaning time is a factor. So the fact that if you would count it as something that's 8 times longer, you would give more probabilities to it being a B or an X than an A than a wave 2. And preferably, by the way, guideline FIB time, X or B, between 3 and 6. Between the 3A2 and 6. Yeah, the moment you pass a 6 FIB time, the probabilities really go down from a ratio perspective, because that second structure is 6 times longer than the first one. So your ratio starts to go off, and that's what they write about in the book. In that case, you would need to think about a triple zigzag if you look for a WXYXZ, another one. How to tag, welcome. Are you interested to do machine learning model for Elliott Wave trading? Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, how to tag, yeah, sure. I do know that Elliott Wave International now has they sell an indicator, I think it's $6K a year. I think it's a subscription, where their AI counts the waves. I haven't checked it. I haven't bought it because I generally trust myself more than any indicator out there, as the indicators on TradingView at least are really rubbish. They're very bad. But this one is from Elliott Wave International, so maybe there's some truth in there. But I haven't yet checked it. But I am interested in getting it and checking it out, and then I can let every one of you know if it is worth something or not. So. What's up, Crazy Potato? Isn't this looking like a 3-wave on the 4-hour? To the downside, yes. To the upside as well. Yes, there are a lot of 3-wave structures, which is also the complexity of the sideways range that we are in. So therefore, on a 1-hour, 50-minute, things are a lot more clear than the 4-hour or the 1-hour or the daily. But because, and this is important, right? You distinct bullish and bearish. Bullish, impulse, diagonal, double 1, 2. Bearish, anything else. But bearish counts are a lot more complex compared to bullish counts. So the moment it is difficult to count a bullish impulse, diagonal, or double 1, 2, or you can't really give it the highest probabilities, the probabilities are automatically higher for bearish price action, even if you're not able to correctly already identify the bearish structure, because it might still form, right? So, but that is because corrections can be a lot more complex. So it can be WXYs, ABCs, it can be a flat with a zigzag with another zigzag. It can be so many things, WXYXZ. And it's a lot easier to focus on counting impulsive bullish structures, in this case bullish, compared to corrective structures. So if you cannot count an impulsive structure with confidence, probabilities are higher, you're looking at bearish structures until proven otherwise, which is not the case on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. Bearish CVD on the 10 min. Why you? Oh yeah, so I answered. Liquidity above, yeah, fake out liquidity would be very interesting from a psychology point of view. Also, this order most probable to least probable, right? The analysis is just all of the scenarios together. Wasn't most probable, least probable. But on a 4-hour daily, the probabilities remain higher for the bears or minimum longer sideways price action, like instead of like looking for like all-time highs and 100k next. You live in Spain for 20 years. From Donbass, I don't know it, but Spain, where the sun shines. Good food in Spain. Where you were a student, yes. How didn't you get drunk? Did you go partying? I've never really been a party guy. Sometimes I went out, but it's not really my my thing. And also the friends I have, what we like to do is, you know, drive our bikes, motorbikes, go to the forest, make like fires and do barbecues and play board games and games and whatnot. So yeah, never really been a party guy. Of course, I went out a couple of times. Not a couple. Of course, you go out sometimes, but I've never been a party guy. I never got drunk, and I'm never planning to, even during my own wedding. Yo, Matt Eagle, how you doing, man? What's up, Roberto Pinto? 1% probability is enough to make it to 100%. It's got to start somewhere. Dara, a WXYXZ will never have the highest probabilities compared to an impulse unless proven otherwise. You have a strange logo. Can I make it better? Of course. You can always make it or come up with ideas. Absolutely. So Koens, by the way, as the logo is, of course, we have the candles in the O, but my background is the gaming and esports industry, where this is where the logo and the name comes from. I was a professional gamer for 11 years, and Koens was my in-game tag. The Z has a meaning, but you know, that's for another time. And the O was a controller, but now it includes candles, like it's a chart. But hey, if you have an idea, then make sure to always feel free to make it better and just send an email or whatnot. But Jeroen made the improvement now, and I think it's really cool. He did a very good job with the O, because he only changed the O from a controller to candles. MT, good evening. Indeed, Elliott Waves is directional bias. It's written in the stars. Let's go, Bird's Nest. Hope you're well. Have you come across Method of Thomas, Denmark? No. No. Do you have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini? I can answer this question sarcastically, because I never talk about the assets I own and the assets I do not own, because that should not be important, in my opinion. That is private. You will not see me flash sort like these type of things. That's stuff that the Moon Boys do, but it has nothing to do with your, like in my case, my personality or what I do in my trading, in my investing, in my asset management, my wealth management. So the only way I can answer that question is yes, I have this one here. But there's no way I talk about my cars, my real estate, my investments, my wealth management, watches. Yeah, that's none of your business. And I recommend to stay very far away from people that flash all that stuff. Because you know what it is? If people have to show all of that to get followers, then what is their skill really? Right? What are they selling you? Are they selling you some course to get rich quick with drop shipping or with trading or stuff? Right? They catch you like with the Lambo, with the Ferrari. Yeah, I think that's bullshit. So I think it is a lot better if you can build a community based on your like knowledge, what you share, right? And by sharing the knowledge, by sharing updates, show people that you have what it takes, instead of me only making videos about my Lamborghini but not actually showing my analysis, right? I think that's weak. Even in Diamond, people can see my plans and they can trade the plans if they wish to, right? It's literally there, like the strategies I like to use, and people trade them, and to trade them with great success. So yeah, either people believe it or they don't, but I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to help people. I'm here to spend some time. I can also be on the beach and do absolutely nothing. But what's the point of life if I every day would go to the beach and like sip cocktails and swim in an ocean? Like what the fuck am I gonna do with my life, you know? So I got questions back in the day about if I could like teach people some Elliott waves and make some videos. And that's where eventually the channel started, with some other reasons as well, which had to do with what I saw online. And I decided to make videos because for me it's a way to spend my time. And if people like it, they like it. And if they don't, then they don't. But I really can't care less. But the one thing I do not do is I don't flash assets. Of course, like for the people that follow me on Instagram, sometimes in a story, of course, you might see something, but I never like put a picture of something on my wall and be like, oh, you know, and here's the link to my course. You know, that's bullshit. Anyway, I have a very strong opinion about people that show that stuff. Yeah. What's happening with... so KMLN is here for very long. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's of course not what we... By the way, member, admin, welcome to Gold, man. Welcome back, by the way, no? Welcome back. Wait, were you silver before? What was it? Silver, maybe now gold? Welcome to Gold. Yeah, so, yo, what's up, admin? Welcome back or welcome to Gold. But make sure to send, fill in this for the form. Thanks, Jeroen, by the way. Appreciate it, mate. Fill in the form and we'll get you sorted. You were in silver. Ah, there we go. Yeah, welcome to Gold, man. Welcome to the top step. So, of course, you were in silver, but just for administration would be good to fill this in. But Jeroen can already get you access to Gold in Discord. Because, you know. So, yo, Hunter, how you doing? Good to have you here, man. Finally catching live as well. What's up? What's up? Sorry, can you repeat the name from the book? Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter. 533 from 70k to 47k possible. 5, you can't have a 533. If you start with a 5, you need to end with a 5. You can only have a 335, which is a flat. But you can't have a 533. You need to end with a 5. An impulse is never alone. What's the program you're using for CVD? That is AGGR. So it's not a program, it's a website. It's accessible for everyone. And you can go to the Good to Know channel in Discord here. And then you scroll up. There you go. And then the template can be downloaded here, right, for CVD. This is a one-pager to help you out. And a video that I made about how it works as well. So it's all it can all be found there. That's exactly where I closed my short and went long. We love to hear it. Oh, I completely forgot to talk about why I entered my long. Are people interested in that? I mean, I guess I kind of like highlighted it, but I'm happy to explain it again. Just a question. It's always good to ask questions, man. Always good to ask questions. Do not worry. But the question gives me the opportunity to talk about it. You know? If you could vote, are you a X or a Y fan? I'm none. I don't follow any politics whatsoever. You know, what happens in the US, that's US. I don't know. That's none of my interest. So I don't follow all that stuff, to be honest. How far can wave 3 shoot? Minimum target generally is the 1.618, right? And then of course a wave 3 can extend, but you like to see of course volume coming in and powerful continuation. So of course we have price moving up with an increased amount of volume. That's what you like to see. Now mind you, we have a high here on a little bit lower volume. So there is the chance that we are now starting to build lower degree 4-5s, right? So you have your 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Get another 4, another 5, another 4, another 5, right? But at the moment, probabilities are higher to continue up until you get a longer sideways structure, which we don't yet have. So we need to wait for that. And also, of course, from a trader's perspective, right? Not gonna lie, but if you buy over here, I mean, I don't know where you're gonna put your stop loss, right? No financial advice, but of course the best opportunity was here, right? That is where you had the bullish CVDs, the market structure, even here 3-min CVDs. Here you had 15-min CVDs, resistance, 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 3 times testing. You know, the moment you move above here, also here, price moving up, you hit the 886 here on an increased amount of volume. I mean, yo, like, it's like screaming like go, you know, like, yeah. But now of course we already had a solid move here. Debate of Trump. Oh yeah, news fundamentals. Yeah, I mean we have of course on Wednesday we have news as well. But as mentioned, on the 4-hour and daily time frame, probabilities are bearish till proven otherwise. It's just the way it is. I can't. Like from an Elliott Wave point of view, can't give the highest probabilities to the bulls unless proven otherwise, based on the whole analysis. Right, 15-minute time frame, 1-hour time frame, that's different. It's a different time frame. At the moment, we are moving up. We're looking for either an ABC or, of course, we have 1, 2, 3. And by the way, you can even have a WXY. Thinking about it. That would be a double zigzag, but I need to check the analysis for this. Let me put this, and make it red. If we look at a WXY, we then need an ABC here. Oh wait, my magnet is off. Yeah, so WXY, that would be zigzag in W, correction in your X, and then you look for price to move up in a wave Y, which means wave Y by itself has to be an A, B, and then a wave C. And in that case, you're looking for a 5, 3, A, B, C. So you still need a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be your most bearish scenario. Double zigzag to the upside, but having a WXY here, having a WXY here, what's the time? From there to here. Yeah, we didn't even pass the 382. So even if you do have a 3-wave structure here in an ABC or WXY, which is then soon finished, you would still have, there's still higher probabilities to continue this range. And 60K is definitely on the cards in that case. But you might then have a 3-wave support 3, but in this case you're going to label this, of course, as a bigger 3-wave structure. Can't be a WXY, but then you look for ABC, correction, ABC, WXY, move down after. So yeah, we take it level by level, but at the moment we got to wait for a range to form. So of course with the volume increase here as well, yeah, just wait for a range. You know, the move to the upside already quote unquote happened. From an Elliott Wave point of view, you always want to wait for a range to form, and then the range will give you the next opportunity. But as long as you don't get a range, meaning at least a couple of hours of sideways price action, there's no, from an Elliott Wave point of view, there's no opportunity, right? That was here, down here. That's the opportunity. 1 hour wave 3, we should count 5 waves. Yes, please show how to count this 5 wave inside wave 3 of 1 hour. Microwave 2. So you can count an impulse in that one, but I guess you're talking about wave 1 of 3. Yeah, this is, you know, try counting this nice, like there's likely like either multi 1-2s going on, but I do not count this here in detail. This is very messy price action. This is quite solid. But yeah. I had a look at it earlier. If you could have a diagonal here to the upside, 3-wave corrective structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-wave, 5. So that is your flat, right? So highest probability here is that you have a flat. So of course there's the possibility to have W, X, Y, and then some 1, 2, 3, but then you preferably still look for a solid 4, 5. Now, if price is changing market structure, that is sign 1 weakness, right? Taking the low, preferably only wicked. The moment you come back here, that isn't too great to then label 3, 4, 5, right? Because you get very, very low. You get very low. Wouldn't you like a career in gaming, whether it's competitive or streaming? Yo, what's up, Dexter? Well, you probably know I used to be a professional gamer. And I was a streamer just for fun and giggles. But, I mean, you know, still had like 200 to 300 viewers at the time. Trackmania, by the way, which back in the day wasn't the popular, like the most like popular thing. Nowadays, it's actually quite popular. No, I love what I do, and I wouldn't have changed it. I like trading. It's like playing a game. I like trading itself, like the art of trading, the art of doing analysis, which is very enjoyable to me. So, and in the gaming and esports industry, oh, we even had bullish CVD divergences here, by the way. These have already played out as well. So no, I wouldn't have changed it. I've had my time in the industry. I am still a global keynote speaker about the industry, and I'm a board member of the Global Esports Federation. So I'm still involved in the industry, but more higher up, right? More higher up. So yeah, I'm happy. So we have some bearish CVDs here. Now these bearish CVDs already played out. Price moved down. This is a second CVD. Something to note, but you know, preferably the first CVDs are the most trustworthy ones. So from a CVD perspective, I want to only look at CVD on the right side of the recent high. All the other CVDs to me are not as relevant at the moment. What's up, Arion? Does the diagonal gain power now over the triangle with the last impulse? Not yet, as actually your structure is the same. So a diagonal, you look for an ABC or WXY to the upside. It's just a lot bigger than the ABC and D. So you do want wave D to be an ABC. The problem with the triangle is that you have a potential B and C WXY, which isn't allowed. You only want one complex structure, most often C. But that means the move from 49 to 65 has to be a simple ABC. But counting that as simple ABC is very challenging. So the triangle, I have it in my folders as a backup. I start to rank up in the charts instead of esports. Yeah, I've had my time there. 57K for most bears. Does the diagonal automatically favor it? Not yet, because we don't have that information. That's the problem with the bulls. It's too early. It's too early. So, of course, your most bearish scenario, which was a 1112, that one is invalidated, yes. But it doesn't... Wait, where is my... Oh, here we go. Oh. So the most bearish one, being a multi-1-2, right? This one hit invalidation. But of course, there's always other bearish scenarios. And as long as we cannot give the bulls the highest probability, we got to be very aware of bearish scenarios. And for the bulls, you either look for the diagonal or you look for the triangle. But in both cases, it's too early. So I cannot like this is also Elliott Waves. You got to realize when things are just not ready yet, right? And I like, yeah, we have a bit of a move up, and from a 15-minute, 1 hour perspective, it was expected with the bull CVD, and once we passed resistance, it was nice. But from an Elliott Wave, from a good Elliott Wave analysis perspective, we cannot yet give the highest probabilities to the bulls. We need a lot more information for the bulls to get the higher probabilities, right? So we just observe the chart, local time frames, keep an eye on what's happening. I can't give the highest probabilities to the bulls, right? So the moment you take out the high here, if there's analysts that say, oh, the diagonal has the highest probability, I don't know, it's too early. It's too early. Late tonight show with Koens. I know, right? The Tate brothers. Is Koens your real name? No, my real name is Koen without the Z. Whoa. I need to catch up here. But I'm almost there, so that's good. Even in silver, people use your strats if they have a small bit of a brain and do good trades. My 6 out of 6 trades following the trend went directly to TP. Yeah, we like to hear that. We like to hear that. Good job, Thunderin. Yeah, very, very good stuff, Thunderin. Wait, I wanna I want to screenshot that. Wait. Ta-da! Where is it popping up? Okay, other screen. My 6 out of 6 trades following this trend went directly to TP. Amen. Yeah. I also think that it's healthy. I don't care about the numbers of the YouTube channel. I want to help as many people as I can. Of course, therefore, you do need thumbnails and you do need some sort of marketing. But I know I can flash stuff and be like, 50K next day. But then you're gonna get that audience that's also looking for the signals and all of that bullshit, right? It's not the audience that I relate to. It's not the audience that I like to have. So if people come in with asking for signals, what I like to do is tell them, work on a plan. I'll never get frustrated getting that question unless people start pushing it and asking it like 5 times after I already explained, make a plan. But no, I hope that I can change the perspective from people asking, signals or up or down or long or short. I hope that I can help them to think differently and be like, okay, I need a plan. And then I can trade instead of looking for the signals and stuff. So just want to say hi. Thanks for the updates. What's up, Cosmin? I'm always around. Love the vibe. Love the content. Love the growing community. Happy to be part of it. Thanks, man. Wait, I can't keep up with the screenshots. I'm gonna send it to myself on WhatsApp now. These things make me happy, so I like to, wait, I have a dot there. Oh, never mind. So I like to, make screenshots, and then I have a folder on my PC, and I have screenshots of comments, of Discord messages, of emails without the email, by the way, right? And also messages from chat. It's very wholesome. When the short 6 steps. Oh, the short, making a YouTube short. Yeah, you're age 31, almost 32, because in a few weeks, 2 weeks, I'm 32. 13.5 to 35. Yeah, I think it will still take a while. It's not. It's like sometimes the channel goes very fast, sometimes it goes slow. It's like we had times where in 1 month we went up by 1.6K, and sometimes there's months you go up by 400. But it's still I make it sound like 400 is little, but it's actually a lot, because as a global keynote speaker speaking in front of audiences, 400 is quite a sizable room, right? So if you add another 400 subs in a month, it's like it's still a full room. So yeah, what's up, Kayla, man? CVD all the way, hell fucking yeah. Does Elliott Wave get any importance to closing price instead of wick? And in what scenarios? Only if you use the line chart. If you don't use the line chart, then the wicks are important. Good night, BBL. Good night. In India. Global. How do you choose which peak and low to use for CVD? I think the best thing to do would be to learn a bit more about CVD, right? And how it works. So first of all, wicks are always included in CVD. Second, a bullish CVD is a higher low in price, but a lower low on the CVD, on the line, right? A bearish CVD is a lower high on price, but a higher high on the CVD, right? And the lows or the highs you pick, I mean, if we go to the 15-minute, you can just look at the lines here. Of course, you like just with any tool, it takes training. But of course, this is your low, so you pick that low, and this is your higher low, right? And then price moves to the upside, and locally we had some more bullish CVDs as price here moved up. Some of the CVDs are not visible because I clean up, like it's a setting, so only the bigger ones are visible, not all the small ones. But yeah, here higher low, right? Lower low, right? So it's another one that played out. And for the bears, you look for a lower high on the chart, but a higher high on the CVD, right? So that's the basics. But I recommend to check out. So if you go to my homepage on YouTube, right, check out the CVD video, which is on the homepage. If you can't find it, scroll down to the educational section. Also, I have this one pager in Discord, which you can download, plus the website, plus template. Right. So until we take is this and it can go down fast. Yes. I mean, even if you do hit the 1.618, there's still the potential for an ABC or that WXY, which is a double zigzag. But the problem with counting, so if we count this ABC or WXY, look at time. So we would then need to compare this move down with this move up. If we would look for price to do this, right, we would need to compare this with this, but it's very short in time, right? So currently here, we haven't even gotten close to the 0.382. Of course, preferably ratio, you finish after the 382. So if this becomes a three-waver, there's the probabilities are higher to look for a bigger corrective structure to finish after the 382, right? So from a time perspective, that makes the most sense. With what's playing. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, Brendan. Yeah, it's the problem, of course, is that especially in videos, it's difficult for me to do that because I want the videos to be short and snippy. Of course, if people follow the analysis, if people follow the channel and they watch videos every day, you don't necessarily have to watch every video, but if you at least watch something a day, you'll get a good feeling of the probabilities playing out and probabilities of scenarios when they play out, like what are we then looking for and how is the chart evolving, right? Like how are the waves impacting new scenarios or existing scenarios nicely. And of course, like last Saturday, like before today, my most recent analysis before today was on Saturday. And on Saturday, I did this. So you can go to it was a live stream, Saturday night. So I did this when price was here. That is when I analyzed this bit. And that's where the squiggly line comes from. So of course we first moved down, but then we tested the resistance, the support, and then we went, which is... So, but I so first of all, it's difficult to do that in videos. I can do it in live streams, but I always prefer to focus more on the now than the past. And I can of course go back and be like, oh look, this played out and this played out and this played out, but it's also not really, you know, my personality. I just focus on now and, you know, what's happening. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers, Jeroen. Have a good night. And also maybe what might help others is to put a Q&A for all your students so they can find out how good they are getting with. Yeah, but I actually have a feedback and Q&A section, but that's in gold. I'm most active in gold myself. So in gold, there's a feedback and Q&A section. And of course, in the public Discord, I actually also have that. But of course, it's here, general questions. In gold, we have feedback Q&A, and also tend to do some private live streams now and then whenever there's a couple of questions coming in at the same time. Have you seen the ETH BTC? No, I actually haven't. I've seen ETH, but not ETH BTC. What about the gap in 53K? I don't know the gap. You probably talk about the CME gap. Let me check here. What's the CME gap? So we have Saturday 2, so probably 53 to 55. So yeah, there's a CME gap. CME gaps. What's the statistics? 80% or 90% tends to get filled, but I don't use CME gaps. But I think what's more important is that when you talk about 80% or 90% of the CME gaps get filled, what's more interesting is how long does it take for them to get filled? So what you want to do is analyze the chart and build statistics on does the gap gets filled in less than a day, in 2 days, in 3 days, in 1 week, or longer, right? And you can very quickly check that on the CME chart. But it gives you an idea of, okay, we have a CME gap, right? Okay, yeah, maybe 80-90% gets filled. However, how much of that gets filled in a day? 30%. So this is random, right? I haven't done this. But if you have data, you can say, okay, I know 30% of the gaps get filled in 1 day. It's good to know because you can use that for your analysis. Maybe it's 50%, maybe it's 60% or 70%, but you can use that as a bias because only having 80 or 90% of the gaps get filled doesn't mean anything if you don't have time. Do you trade 886 touches or do you use them as guidelines? I also trade them. Where entry, where to... Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Whoever is interested in Elliott Waves, just download the PDF from the Discord with the Elliott Wave resumed in a very easy way. Yeah, in the Elliott Wave section. So we also have stuff here. Elliott Waves, educational content, 2 PDFs. It's quite complex info, not gonna lie. But we are working, Jeroen and I, on this. So this is a teaser for you guys. So this is not the finished product. I already gave feedback on Impulse. There's a lot to improve on this page, text-wise and position-wise, and because this is today was the first time I actually gave feedback to Jeroen. He did all of this by himself, and he definitely learned a lot about Elliott Waves by making this as well, which is really cool to see. His knowledge increased. Jeroen is his employee. So this is what's coming, and yeah, of course, there's many different pages with all of the scenarios and information, Fibonacci ratios, a star rating as well to tell you what's common and less common. Time is included, right? Like there's a lot of, let's go to 14 for the fun, like expanding triangle. And this one is very rare, but nonetheless, and we also have a page about the 886 and a page about what's common, uncommon, rare, very rare. We want to add a page about terminology. So what does things mean, right? Like that's coming. and it's in development. You know, it takes a little bit of time. Jeroen is already working on it, FYI, for 1.5 to 2 months now. And now that the PDF is finished, that's when I come in and give feedback to double check the rules, the guidelines, FIB targets, the star rating, and I double check everything, give the feedback, he improves it, right? And then we go up and down a couple of times, adds maybe some more pages here and there, and then, you know, then we go. When is it coming out? 9th of September, today. So today I did 2 pages of feedback. So if I would do that every day of the week, all the feedback is done in a week, basically. I could do more, I think, but of course there's other stuff besides the PDF. So imagine we have 1 week of feedback, then Jeroen improves it, which he can do during the week, but add a few days. Then we still have to make some extra pages. So that would be like, let's say, week 2, 2.5. So I'd say like we should be able to get this done by the end of September. Would be nice to have it finished on my birthday, 24th of September. Yeah, that would be fun. Cheers, Zarafa. 16:45 Eastern time. Oh, Eastern. I don't know what East. I would need to Google for that. On the 1 minute, another 4 or 5. Yeah. Manage your stuff well, Thunderin. Of course. I mean, you had some TPs, but if you're still in position. Is this a resistance area? Yeah, you wick the high here, and this high is relatively important. Besides, you are now entering the volume profile of this range, right? So this is automatically, oh, that's not just a range. This is automatically an area of resistance, right? So you have your value area high here, your point of control, and your value area low, right? So that is currently what you are fighting against. No? 9-10 filled. Oh, you mean orders. Would this not be considered too impulsive for a C wave? Just trying to understand the criteria for a valid C. This looks impulsive rather than. I'll show you a example of a C wave. That is a wave C. A, B, extended C, high amount of volume. You never got a 4 and a 5. You moved up, hit the 618, took the high soon after. Diagonal in A, B, bearish CVD divergences, C. I remember this very well because I was live here and the probabilities were higher to take the low. You can go to the videos of the 3rd of January. And then as price started to move, that is when I went live. And this, I've never had so many viewers ever in a live stream. Like, that was insane. I had like 550 viewers, over 250 subscribers added in like 1.5 days. That was nuts. Absolutely nuts. I don't know what YouTube did, but they put me out there, yo. Never replicated that. But what does happen nowadays is that, of course, that's an exception, right? That's an exception. But the average amount of viewers per, like, you know, goes up. Yeah. So, yeah. That Elliott Wave, yeah, so I answered that question. My position is closed already. Okay. Good stuff, Thunderin. Yeah, you want to manage it well. You know, like have no greed. If you have a plan and you have a target, you know, and you're happy and you got your risk reward ratio set, then just take it. You know, like there's always a new opportunity. No, there's always the next trade. Just take it, right? Like. Arguably, opening a trade is easier than closing it for most people, right? Because once you get the paper profits in, you're like, oh shit, you know, we're flying, right? Holy moly! Oh, I'm sure I can stretch it a little bit more, a little bit further, and maybe that's true. But it's also good, and this is what I like. I also like to take either some off, or when I'm happy with the RR, I take it off, and you know, like I leave maybe a bit running or whatnot, but I do like to take profits, just to bag them, you know, that from a mindset perspective. Is there a wave count where perhaps the low is already in at 49? I feel like everyone thinks it's gonna dump, and that's why maybe it won't. Yes, that would be a diagonal. For the bulls, that would be your probability scenario. Which is, one second, this. Problem is, it's a little bit early to call. Now, I definitely, so this is interesting. From a CVD perspective, right, it's definitely interesting to take 65. And probably tomorrow I'll talk a little bit more about it because it was quite short earlier this night. But we have the bullish CVDs here, and then supported by local buildup of bullish CVDs as price grinds up, which is interesting. That's something that I do like to see from a CVD perspective. So the fact that you have bullish CVDs building here, of course, these have already played out, but it does give the bigger bull CVD here a little bit more validity. Is that like the English word I'm looking for? So a 4-hour CVD is actually is generally not interesting, right? You have a bullish CVD here, it's not interesting, because also here we had 50-minute bearish CVDs all the time. But they only start to be interesting the moment you create consistent CVDs locally towards the upside. Now, as an example of what you don't like to see, we also had bullish CVDs here on the 4-hour. However, locally on a 15, every bounce locally was counted with bearish CVDs. Every bounce had bearish CVDs. We never stabilized, moved up with bullish CVDs consistently at any moment in time here. But you do have that here. And because you do have that on the lower time frames, we got to be aware of the 4-hour CVD now as well. Now, it's still a long move, right? 65K. And from an Elliott Wave perspective, it's too early to talk about it. But that's why the thumbnail does mention 65. It's because of the CVD being included in that piece of analysis, of course. Now, we will continue to keep an eye on what's happening locally, right? But the CVD is definitely, first of all, it's such an amazing tool. Second, the bullish CVDs here were very, very clear. And there is the potential of the bigger ones to come into play because locally we have seen that sign of strength. But now, of course, it's all about continuation and then observing. We want to see an impulse to the upside now. That's what you want, right? If you get a 5-wave move up here, right, so you got your 1, 2, and then eventually 3, 4, 5. You want a range in 4 the size of 2. That's what you're going to be waiting for, right? If you don't get it and price moves down before you get that range, we might over here be looking for A, B, C, or WXYs. Anyway, if you do get an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We have resistance at 60K. Then the retracement is very interesting, as the retracement would have a high probability of being either a wave B or a wave 2, and then you look for another leg to the upside. So, and we got to be aware of the CVD again. Yes, fits good with the 4-5s. Yeah, exactly. You do like to see bull CVDs in the 4s. The 4s can be tricky because you can also have the bear CVDs and then they play out because it's a range. So you take the high, you take the low, la-di-la, but then eventually it stabilizes and moves up. If you look in a 4-hour, the current price action looks like the price action of June, July 2024. Oh, this one here. Yes. Also CVD. You had bull CVD here, and then bullish CVDs as price moved up. Bull CVD here, bull CVD here. We still need to see if we get continuous bullish CVDs as we move up. Now, this is a textbook, absolute textbook impulse. This. You can't make them more pretty. The problem was the bearish CVDs as you went down, because this is labeled a wave C, not a wave 1 or a wave A, but a wave C is also an impulse. But this is like 1 2 1 2, impulsive, highest volume 3, 4 5 4 5, and down. Retracement. But yeah, that's a very nice move. Now we can have a little look here. If we do, where is that thing? I don't have it in my favorites. The like copy the chart thing. Oh, here, bars pattern. From the low, and make it small. Okay, so we have the first and then the second. We already move up, so we gotta do. Yeah, something like this. It's not. This is not bad, right? This is not bad. Let me see how this is. Oh, not bad at all. Yeah, that would be resistance. So 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Now we do have, 1 second here, daily. We do have resistance, so we could reject at the daily, move down at the daily, move to the next day. Wow. Move to the next daily, come back to the previous range 4 of a lower degree, move up, hit resistance at 60K, point of control of the range on the 4-hour plus a daily naked, and then reject. Look for a retracement in that case. Probabilities are higher this is than a wave 1 or a wave A. This is actually a very nice bars pattern. I'm gonna keep that one. That's quite a fun one to keep an eye on, no? Very nice. Mr. 420, keep it up. You're a smart and good guy. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. 420. Yeah, I gotta tell you guys a story. I was in London the other day. It's already a few years back, and I was with my wife. And it was on 420. So the day. And we were walking through the park, right? And in London, at 420, on 420, let me tell you, that park was stacked, Joe. Of course, everyone acts like they have a picnic. But if you walk around and you had a nose, it was not just a picnic. Good times. That was funny. So I was with my wife. My wife will be able to tell the story in a bit more detail because for her it was more unique. In the Netherlands, of course, it's allowed. So yeah, but I'm clean, I swear. Yeah. Only say that online. Only say that online. You know, online everything is clean. FOMO gets in your brain, and the emotions are bad stuff for trading. Emotions, man. Like once you have a plan or a strategy, especially also based on data, the only thing that can fuck you up is your head. It's your emotions, it's your fear, your greed, your discipline. your risk management, which also usually relates to FOMO, greed, and stuff. So yeah. More information, yeah. Oh, that's good. I mean, look, fundamental, especially after you got a couple of trades in and you made profit, you know, never get in a hurry to enter again. And also, if price does continue in the direction of your initial trade, never FOMO back in, right? Like, unless it's part of a new plan. So if there's a new setup, it's a new trade. But not like, oh, I closed the long and then price continues, but there's actually no plan and you just randomly long because price continues. That's not good stuff, right? You want to wait. You want to wait. Be patient, wait for a new setup, maybe walk away, take 2 days off, right? Enjoy the money a little bit and you know, da-di-la-di-la, and then come back. I've been, yo, Mafia, how you doing, man? That's been a while. And hello, yeah. Yeah, how you doing? How's the ring charts, man? How's the interstellar charts doing? Yeah, Liquid Mafia has the most unique analysis style in all of Discord. You should check his name. Look for his name in Discord, guys. Liquid Mafia, exactly like it's written here, and you'll see like crazy charts. And also always long explanations to explain to you what it means. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. 2023 September to 2024 September. 2023 September to 2024 September. 1 second here. Okay, so we are talking about this compared to this. Oh wait. This. Let's have a look. I actually need to go to lower time frames. Let's see if I can get down there to the, like if I am on a 1 hour chart. I'm not sure if I can go back that far. Oh, there we go. Ah, I see. Okay, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was an interesting one because here we had an extended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, still being a diagonal as well. Double zigzag or simple zigzag, either or. I forgot back in the day. What was good here was the CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD. Guys, I swear, like, if you do not know about CVD, please have a look. It's a free tool. It's literally out there. You can use it on Atas, on Exo charts, on Coinalyze, on AGGR, like even TradingView has CVD, but I don't like that. You know, I use the AGGR one. Like my template, you can just download it. Like it's so good, man. But CVD was my thing here. And this, of course, was a 3-wave structure. So once we hit the 618 here, probabilities were higher to take the high. But let's have a look from a bars pattern. So let's do the same. It doesn't look very impulsive. Like, yeah, the thing is, so this is the thing. On the chart at the moment, we of course, like we have like this. Here you have like at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential because you got high, higher high, higher high, and same high, higher high, higher high, right? So you have like 5 highs, you know what I mean? And that is a little bit difficult at the moment. But of course, we will switch bullish. Like if we are currently here, sorry, if we are currently here, I mean, look how shit this looks from a, this is a flat, by the way. Crazy, eh? But if we are here, which would be interesting, then CVD is what's gonna flip things around. Now we have the bullish, so currently on the chart, if we would compare this with the current price section, we have bullish CVDs here, we have bullish CVDs here, which is also what we had on the chart here. So Liquid Mafia there is correct. That's why it's interesting to look at 65 as well, because of the CVDs we have, which we also had back in the day. This would be like the second retracement would be most interesting. Are these clean like impulses? I mean, clean as like quote unquote it comes, but at least we have a 5 wave here. But let's draw this. So of course the probabilities will flip to the bulls if we can continue to create the bullish CVDs. I do really like your way of thinking, like, hey, you know, September 2023. Oh, this is definitely a bigger structure. Let's have a look. You know, price doesn't repeat, but it can rhyme. Retracement is a little deeper, but that's okay. I've given updates soon, been busy with the house renovations. Real life always goes first. Hope the house is doing well. So at least like the fact that the probabilities are higher that this is a 3-wave structure. 1 second. At least gives the opportunity to more bullish structures to take out 65, right? So higher probability 3-wave structure. We still have bullish CVDs here. We were working on bullish CVDs. They already played out over here. So just because 3-wave structure, potential for 65. You know, that's as easy as it comes with Elliott waves. And then of course we look for continuous signs of strength if you would look that bullish. Now the low here, preferably for the bulls, definitely holds because you made it on a monthly support resistance level plus the weekly value area high that I've been talking about more often. So the bulls definitely, preferably, you want to stay above this low, you know. But it's difficult to give the highest probabilities to the bulls just yet. It would be good to have more information. But the fact that we have a 3-wave here, that's at least keeping the bulls alive, which is already important. Maybe mandate. Oh. 420 from Boston. 52,500 was the bottom. What is your opinion? For at least the time being, it is, yeah. Currently probabilities are there for this to be an impulse. And if so, you would look for 5, 3 and at least another 5. Yeah, for at least a short term, that would be on the cards. Currently higher probability to look for an impulse here. 420, I failed today for this reason. My strategy was not clear. I had a short position of 56, but every time it goes up, I tell myself that it will return. Yeah, so of course, another thing is, so first of all, you won't win every trade, right? So if you have a plan or a strategy, you will have losses. That's no problem. I mean, if you have a 50% win rate and a 1 to 3 RR with your wins, you're a very profitable trader, but you're going to lose 50 trades out of 100. Sounds a lot, but you're a very profitable trader. So you won't win every trade, but if you have a plan and a strategy and you stuck to your plan and you have a loss, it's a good loss, right? If you enter a trade not based on your plan or strategy and you lose, it's a bad one because you didn't stick to your plan or strategy. So if you have a loss that's based on your plan, it's fine. It's just another loss, right? It's one of the 50. 1 of the 30, whatever your win rate is. Yeah, and also, of course, if you have a plan and a strat, if you have exit indications, exit rules, like, hey, I entered this position, but if price shows me XYZ, then I will close it. You know, that's also something one can do. Have like exit rules. Trading CVDs are 50-50, AGR1. Yeah, I like AGGR at the moment. Yeah, it's for me the best. You wouldn't guess where I am from. I mean, there's, you know, theoretically over 300 countries, isn't it? Or 280? I don't know how many there are in the world. How many we talking? Oh. 195. Never, wait. 195? I thought it was more. Okay, never mind. 193. What the hell? I'm so out of like sync with the world. So yeah, I have like 0.5% chance of guessing right, but most of my viewers are from the US, and then you have Germany, the Netherlands. So if I would go touch, I like that one. I would guess Mr. 420. Germany. I don't know. Of course, 420 makes me think of the Netherlands, but that's too biased. Koens need to touch some grass. I know, right? Wait, was it Canada? Canada? I don't know. Was it Canada? Thundering from Earth, third planet from the sun. So that's your address. Yes, that's within the ONU. Yeah. Wait. So we can add 7, making it 200. I don't know. My flag is green and there's a sword. Ah. Well, I can't really see that. It's too small, you know, but Saudi, yeah, Saudi Arabia. I've been to Dubai once and Riyadh once. That was fun. But welcome, Mr. 420 from Saudi Arabia. What's up, Alexander? Welcome. KP Singh, what's up? Algeria, that's a good one as well. Green flag with a sword. I mean, if you Google that, then you instantly get like Saudi Arabia stuff, you know. Yo, guys, I actually think for me it's time to have dinner. I think my I was supposed to live stream till 9:30. At least that's what I told my wife. I was like, I'll just be live, 45 minutes. And here we are. So I better get going. Yeah. We can look for a wave 4. That would be the first. Volume increasing, so a wave 4 makes sense. Yes. Exactly. Time for sleep. A little bit of food. Baku top 3 predictions. I mean, it's like similar to Monza in a way. So I think McLaren, like, they will learn their lesson from Monza. So I would say I would love a PS3 win. Because it wouldn't be fun for the championship, but he's not backing down. Clearly, in Monza he overtook Lando. So yeah, I mean, like, you know what I would love to see? I would love Carlos to do good. So let's say, like, this is the podium I would like. I would like a PS3, Carlos, and then like Max Verstappen on 3. 3 different constructors. What I think is going to happen is more likely something like Lando Norris, Leclerc, Lando Norris, Leclerc, PS3, something. Because Red Bull on Monza wasn't that strong. And I think they might struggle in Baku. So, but I'm not an engineer. I don't know. I mean, I just watch. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah, exactly. It's wave 4 of the move to the upside, Russ said. This move here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Look for 4, 5s. Ooh. No, not the one to the downside. Okay, everyone, thanks for your time. Thanks for hanging out. Really enjoyable to be here with you, everyone, tonight. I don't often do night streams. Usually it's during the day. So different people watching now, of course. But yeah, very nice. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go off. Tomorrow morning is a new update. So let's see where price is when I wake up. And then it's going to be a normal video. So normal video, usually around 10 minutes, summarizes probably this whole live stream anyway. So yeah, have a good night. Have a good morning if you're from the other side of the world. And of course, the US, have a good evening. But yeah, have a good one, and I will see you again tomorrow, because tomorrow video in the morning and live stream in the afternoon. So that's the plan. And we execute the plan. Cheers.